25, inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Taylor Green took off. Green in the backfield. Washington now shifts to the left hip of his quarterback. They're going to run a shovel pass inside. Rohan Jones, and the two-point conversion successful.
Oh, the crowd was awesome. You know, I know the players were very, very appreciative. All four quarters of the energy that they brought. They want to win games. They want to win football games. We've got to give them a better opportunity as staff to get that victory.
We played a top 20 defense tonight. Probably one of the best defensive lines we're going to see this year.
You know, give Bobby a chance to go shop for the groceries himself, and now that he's cooking the dinner.
Live from the Busch Light Studios with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft, and produced by Colton Little. This is The Morning Rush.
You know, offensively, Arkansas scored 36 points, 35 against Ole Miss. You scored 31 against Tennessee and 42 against Texas A&M. Your three SEC opponents this season, you've lost all three of those games. You outscored Texas A&M's last three opponents in the SEC on Saturday night with 42 points. Taylor was awesome for a majority of that game, nearly 400 total yards, 5 touchdowns, made play after play, all while being injured. Looked like he might not even be able to continue the game. And yet, Tommy, we're sitting here on another Monday morning. Close loss, Arkansas 42, Texas A&M 45.
And you've got two teams coming up this weekend that are in such a similar boat, different sides of the ball that you feel like are holding them back. Auburn can't get their offense going. Their defense is pretty good. They lose in overtime. Another tough loss. They're, 0-4 for the third straight time under Hugh Freeze. This weekend, two teams that are desperate for a win come up, and I hate the idea or hate the feeling. Maybe it's a feeling. I just get this feeling like, hey, we're just happy to be losing close. And while it's much better than getting your ears beat off, I do agree with that. You feel like you're a play or two away, and there's still some semblance of you're beating yourself. Well, I mean, that's the thing, is you're good enough to compete with an Ole Miss that went after it with Georgia. That's one of the better teams in this conference, despite their loss. You've been able to go toe-to-toe now with the number 4 team in the country in Texas A&M, and the only undefeated team in league play. So, I mean, it's frustrating to feel like you're close, and we've heard this phrase before, we're so close, but you got to find a way to eliminate those 2 or 3 mistakes in the ball game that are keeping you from pinning one on the wall that's significant.
Yeah, Petrino's still not happy.
For the second week in a row, our guys competed hard, but that's not what we're out there to try to do. We're out there to try to win.
Well, you got a number of opportunities left, including this weekend, as you said, against Auburn. You could not have, while the teams are over in the league, you could not have 2 different identities, with one that's playing really good defense and DJ Durkin. They've been really good this year on that side of the football. Arkansas is the complete opposite offense. Really curious to see who wins out this battle this weekend, starting at 11:45.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. That, I mean, similar in so many ways, but being polar opposites in why they are the way they are. But are there 2 teams more desperate to get a victory this weekend than Arkansas and Auburn, at least in this league? I can't.
State lost again, or do they have a bye? But they have yet to. I think they're still over. Yeah, they had a bye this week, and they lost 4. Excuse me, that late interception cost them, but they're still over in the league. So you put up there on the list. Them. They got Texas in Starkville this weekend. Crazy. Billy Napier's first win against Utah, ended with an interception, and his final game as the Florida Gators head coach ended with an interception as he was let go after a win yesterday, 23-21.
We can get to all of that. All right, that's where we begin here on a Hot Take Monday that's brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does custom fencing projects for residential, commercial, and industrial projects as well, or installations. If you want to make your home or business look better, check out the aluminum fencing. It can be done in a variety of patterns, variety of colors, will never rot, doesn't fade. It's a really good product right now that's something newer on the market. It's aluminum fencing available, and you'll be surprised how attractive the price is when you consider all of the benefits of going aluminum. 782-3936, thefencemanAR.com, the fence man. He ain't afraid of no work.
I don't know how people initially reacted to the game change and time change on Saturday, where the game was moved from 2:30 to 4:30. I was excited. We were doing the game day show at the Stadium Shop, and email came to us. So I was like, okay, they're moving this back 2 hours. That means you're going to get a night game. That means you're not going to have a delay in the game itself, rather than trying to start it, stop it, and then start it up again. I was happy. Now, again, Arkansas's field got some rain, and you had to deal with that. You didn't have them run through the A band on the field at the beginning of the game. It was just kind of a weird lead up.
Yeah, but that didn't affect the television side of it. I mean, from the standpoint of the game, I mean, the field was fine. The field wasn't an issue as far as the playability of the surface. What you didn't have is 70,000 people in your stadium that had to find cover. The decision to move the game was very appropriate and very correct, because you had hail, you had extreme heavy rain. There was no way to play through what they had going on in that time frame. So correct move. All the things you just said will let you play without delays, without putting anybody in danger, because you couldn't have played through it. The idea of playing at night versus today, I mean, I guess that's a matter of perspective. I don't know that the stadium was any more jacked up because it was at night. We like night games because you can tailgate and people get sauced up a little bit more. But that place was still loud. Was a late arriving crowd, as you can expect, but and would have expected. But I mean, that place was plenty loud, whether the tailgates went on or not.
Into the second quarter, when Arkansas started to click offensively, you got a late second quarter stop, and then Talon and Mike Washington started going ham. Second half, there was that fourth down where you could have stopped him. Owens got blown up by his own man in the backfield, and you still couldn't get him on the turf. Texas A&M ended up completing 3 of 3 on fourth downs. One of the positive things you didn't have, Robert texting in, is the Razorbacks did not have a turnover in this game. You did have 9 penalties, so it feels like it's always one or the other with this football team, unfortunately. Yeah. But offensively, you were clicking. I know if you want to count that fourth down where you had Rohan Jones open, Talon didn't throw the football. I've seen that play that Bobby Petrino's called before. He lets that go. I would say if it's on the money, Rohan Jones walks in, just didn't throw the football there. Got a little spooked, as Petrino said.
Well, and the pressure that A&M brought in those critical situations, they did not do anything but pin their ears back in critical third and fourth down situations that the Hogs had. Arkansas was sacked 4 times in the ball game as Taylor Green went down, but he was hurried many more times than that. And A&M's pressure and ability to get to Taylor Green was one of the big differences in the game. Yes, you didn't turn it over. You held on to the ball this weekend. Clearly, whatever emphasis they put on that over the last week worked, at least for this game. I'd rather have the penalties than the turnovers, and I thought it was a cleaner game in many aspects from just not having self-inflicted problems.
Yeah, well, Arkansas, again, didn't have a turnover. You hadn't gotten a turnover since the Memphis game, and Coach talked about that after the game.
Yeah, I just kept waiting for a turnover. We at some point we're going to get some turnovers, so I felt like you get in that position that we have a opportunity to get a turnover and something good will happen. And obviously they're a very good football team, and they're executing very well on offense right now, and we just weren't able to get the ball out.
But for Petrino to watch Marcel Reed do what he did, 23 of 32, 3 touchdowns, nearly 300 passing yards, and it seems like they haven't been a great third down team this season. It seems like more often than not he was completing the right passes at the right time. Definitely a different, improved quarterback from last year. And like you said, A&M undefeated, only SEC team that remains undefeated after Ole Miss goes down. They just look really good. I know defensively that was probably their worst performance of the season, but you have to give Arkansas credit in what Petrino and Taylor were able to do.
100%. I mean, Arkansas is – I don't think anyone left on this schedule, or really anyone you played like Tennessee or like this weekend with A&M would have anything but a lot of praise, and probably happy they don't have to see Arkansas's offense again. So, I know Auburn – this could be an interesting matchup this weekend. And I know we got a lot of time to talk about this weekend's game, but you've got a really good Auburn defense and a really exceptional Arkansas offense. If you could, I don't know if you fixed, but you did for 1 week the turnover situation from the ones you're putting on the ground and the interceptions you're throwing. If you can fix protection a little bit this weekend and eliminate some of those hurries. There were 6 hurries by A&M. Eliminate some of the sacks. You had 1 fewer sack, but still 4 is too many. Man, you're going to feel like you have a really good chance at home to win a football game, and you're playing an Auburn team that's probably fighting for their coach's existence there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw Napier fired after a win this weekend. They should have lost that game. But you got to wonder if Hugh Freeze and the Tigers lose this weekend in Fayetteville, is this going to be it for him? You really kind of figure that's in the equation.
I knew we were going to get a text like Josh and Harrison saying that the 20-yard sack was costly. You were talking about the A&M pressure there, but how many plays did Talon make to get out of the sack, including late in the fourth quarter on a 4th and 5 where he eluded 2 or 3 defenders, ended up rushing I think it was like a 40 or 50-yard rush there. I realized that some of those mistakes, again, kill Arkansas drives and change the momentum of games, but I would take the positives. I think the positives outweigh the negatives. You wish you could just have the positives, but this kid, while being injured, made so many plays to at least keep you in that game. And the other element to this is the offense almost has to play near a perfect game. Like we mentioned, the not throwing in on 4th and 1, the sacks as well, no turnovers. And again, 5 touchdowns in this football game that he on his own. It's really hard to be critical on anything other than the defense after a performance like that.
Taylor Green, 12 rushes for a net of 85, 48 yards of lost yardage on those 4 sacks. Those were very timely. Give A&M credit for pinning back their ears and coming. If you could have, and they brought more than we could have even hoped to block, and we didn't get a chip on the left side on one of them. That Cassius Howe just killed you.
He's a
all day.
Round. Yep.
I mean, all day. And you had to know where he was at because, what was he, number 9, I believe? When number 9 was lined up left, you had to know where he was at because he would wreck your game plan.
Petrino joked earlier this week, it's like, a guy's a player when he's wearing a single digit on the defensive line, and this kid was good last year, and he's even better.
I don't know about that. We got some guys wearing single digits on our defensive line. I wouldn't call them players. So,
which they didn't.
I wouldn't. I mean, now, don't mishear me. Hal's a player. You're correct, but just because they're wearing a single digit doesn't make them a player.
I got to go back and double check. Arkansas didn't finish with the sack. I know Xavier Sori got a key tackle for loss at the end of that second quarter. I don't even know if there was hurry on Marcel Reed.
No, 0.
Clean pocket.
Zero hurry, zero sacks.
Clean pocket throughout the game, and they have a really good offensive line. Those are a couple of Petrino players that he coached 2+ years ago. But that's
in fact, they had. I'm reading here in the stats: no hurries, no sacks. They had ham and turkey sandwiches as Reed was able to unload the picnic basket back there a few times, unfold the blanket, and he could just kind of stand there and munch on little finger sandwiches while he figured out where he was going on his 23 of 32 passes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, he was very comfortable back there for those 280 yards.
Well, it was one of the games.
Ham and turkey sandwiches in the picnic basket.
It was one of the games of the weekend in the Southeastern Conference. Obviously, it didn't go our way. What else happened in the SEC? Let's get into it here on our opening drive.
The first down for Vandy. Pressure off the edge. He steps up, and now he's going to run for the end zone and score. Diego Pavia. Owens the back. Make it to him. Starts an end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Hat-trick. Larson Lucky. And it's a play-action pass. And it's intercepted. Sabian Brown with one man who can catch him. Sabian Brown all the way. Touchdown, Alabama. Take it down. Gets rid of it to his offensive lineman. And that's how it will end. From 45 yards out to win the game in overtime. Snap, good hold. Kick on the way. Kick is good. And despite all of it, Texas and Arch Manning gets his first career road win.
This is the opening drive.
All right, we'll start with maybe the most monumental game in the SEC this weekend, where Georgia was down to Trinidad Chambliss and Ole Miss, and then the Dogs and Gunnar Stockton just kept on going. Lawson Lucky scored that go-ahead touchdown in that game, and Georgia prevails once again in Athens. Ole Miss comes up just short. Again, lone SEC undefeated team right now is the Texas A&M Aggies. Alabama has yet to lose in conference play, but, man, I really thought Ole Miss was going to do it, and then Georgia just did Georgia things.
Man, what a great weekend of just watching games. I didn't go to Fayetteville. and listen, I know it was a good atmosphere once the fans got in there, but man, just being able to sit there from 11 a.m. till well after dark. I mean, it was a 2 TV kind of day, and all the games were extremely exciting. And LSU fans right now, we're talking about coaches getting fired. I don't know if Kelly's truly on the hot seat with everything going on. Probably be inappropriate to really put him there, but I know their fans are extremely frustrated, particularly after losing to Vanderbilt. Texas, that ending there. I mean, Kentucky really hadn't sniffed a lot of wins, and they had Texas dead in their sights. So you heard the highlights from the big major games that we all watched. But what a fun weekend. I mean, Alabama and Tennessee was probably the least exciting game just because Alabama dominated that thing pretty well throughout.
If Aguilar doesn't throw a pick six, it's 16-7. You make it 16-14 in and a half. You can go in positive, but after he threw that, the game was essentially over. Texas's offense is still bad. That's a game. Again, you feel like you can compete in it as a Razorback fan on November the 22nd in offense. Arch Manning, while he did get a win, just has not been what he was expected to be. That defense still is for real. Kentucky saw that firsthand, but they almost lost it. I mean, they put themselves in a tougher field goal situation for that kicker due to some penalties and not converting. Kentucky's defense at least stood tall throughout that game. They didn't get enough from that offense. And Mark Stoops,
Texas is probably out of the playoff mix at this point with the loss to Florida earlier this year and the way they got drummed by OU. That would have been the final death nail in that playoff coffin, though. For Texas if you had lost to Kentucky. I think they're probably already there, but that would have done them in.
Yeah. Speaking of Florida, Billy Napier let go by the Gators, 22-23 overall with Florida. That job is now open along with Penn State, 2 jobs that are better than yours. It's not even close. I know one of the now at the time, and I still believe this now, like some people were saying that Sam Pittman should have been let go after last season. I saw a 3-win improvement. I saw Taylor Green coming back, Bobby Petrino, Travis Williams. To me, I didn't agree with that. But now looking back in the competition you have with other jobs like Auburn still probably going to come open, I don't know if LSU or South Carolina end up coming open with Beamer and Kelly. We had no competition in the SEC last year, and now you're going to have to go up against several jobs, Tommy, not just in college football, but could be in the SEC this year as well for a vacant coaching position.
I want to get into this later, but this might be, and I know it sounds like it's a superlative or you're hyping something up, but I think this might be not just for Arkansas, but whether you're Virginia Tech, whether you're any of these kind of mid-level programs. I wouldn't put Florida in this category. I wouldn't put some of these, but you start thinking about Power 4 conference teams that are kind of middle to bottom of the pack. It might be your most important hire you've ever made. I'll tell you why I feel that way a little bit later on in the show. All right, because I think this is a huge moment that you got to get it on track, and I'll tell you why I believe the dividend has to be there 4 or 5 years from now. Opening Drive brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. They opened a second location about a year ago in Salisal. They're in Fort Smith. Jackie and Matt and their team ready to help you, and particularly when it comes to criminal law. You found yourself involved in a DWI. You found yourself on the wrong side of a criminal matter. You've made a mistake, and you need help correcting that mistake through the court system. Mock Legal Solutions is there for you. They understand you may not have a huge, $5,000 retainer to put them on. That's why they make it easy to understand with down payments you can afford, monthly payment plans you can afford, flat fees that you can understand as well. 479-769-1505. 479-769-1505 or mocklegalsolutions.com.
A few texts to get in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Zach in Greenwood, he should have been gone 2 years ago after the 1-7 SEC finish in 2023. Again, hindsight's always 20/20, but you definitely have tougher competition for coaches now than you did a year or two ago. Robert texting in, will Brian Kelly finish the season with a $52 million buyout? Well, the LSU Tigers on their schedule remaining. You've got Arkansas, of course. They've got A&M in Baton Rouge this weekend. They've got Bama and Tuscaloosa, Western Kentucky, and Oklahoma. I hear at least 2 losses, don't you?
I hear 3 losses.
3?
I don't think they can get past Oklahoma either. They don't have an offense to match up. So things not looking very good in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and again, that game is on the road in Gaylord Memorial, so that will be a tough game. Oklahoma gets a win this weekend, bouncing back after the Texas loss. But I don't know if Brian Kelly's out of the woods yet. There's crazy buyout numbers. Like I saw this report from Pete Nakos of On3 talking about Mike Norvell and Tommy. Apparently the potential to fire him and his staff's near $100 million. Like just the money and the facts and figures that are going out is just absurd.
Look at Napier's. He gets, what is it, a third of his buyout. Half of his buyout within 30 days.
Yep.
Doesn't have to mitigate that, and then gets the other over time. I mean, it's crazy. What some of these guys are getting. I mean, I'm interested to see what ADs and agents, how they meet in the middle.
How do you
moving forward, particularly in a market where, like you said, ton of jobs open, some names out there that got a little bit of damage to them. There's a guy like James Franklin. Does he have some damage off of Penn State, or is he still considered maybe the most elite candidate out there for these openings? Interesting to see who has the leverage through these buyouts and these contracts moving forward.
And I don't,
because it could shape the way the sport is structured moving forward.
How do you, if you're Florida's AD, Tommy, how do you not get that Scott Strickland not to put that in the clause or put that as a clause? Do you have to?
They're paying 3 coaches again. This is the second time they'll be paying 3 coaches.
Wow.
They're still paying Dan Mullen some money too. So, have you seen the line for this weekend?
I think Arkansas, what, a 1-point dog in this one?
Auburn's favored by 1. Arkansas catching 1, and that's you can check that out at the Bet Saracen app right now. Over under in the game 57.5. That might feel a little bit light right now as well. So Major League Baseball, NFL regular season, all there. You got Monday night games coming up as well. Seattle laying 3 tonight. Detroit putting 5.5 up against Tampa Bay. It's all there for tonight and throughout the week with the Bet Saracen app.
Had a crazy weekend in the NFL. We'll get to that coming up later in the program. But your Hog Update, going to hear more from Talon Green, Bobby Petrino, and you coming up next.
Hey, this is Ryan McGee with ESPN and Marty and McGee, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Here it is. Number 5, Jerry McFadden. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for D-Mac.
This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. All this month, take advantage of huge discounts on our road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Freshen up your golf game at the Golf Nut. We've got the latest apparel and head covers from Pins and Aces, plus new shirts and shorts from Red Vanley. Ghost golf bags are here in Sunday bag, carry, and card 14 styles. Zero torque putters are the hottest thing on the greens. Check out our models from TaylorMade, Lab Golf, and Odyssey. For precision on every shot, we've got rangefinders from Blue Tees and Bushnell. Visit the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Game days just got a whole lot cheesier at Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Art's legendary smoked brisket queso is back. There's no better game time treat than this house-made queso, loaded with chunks of Art's smoked brisket. And try the sloppy pig, Art's hand-patted burger, topped with pulled pork and smothered in smoked brisket queso. Make your game days cheesy at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
They've got 3 tight ends on the field, and they'll operate out of the straight eye. Lassiter's the fullback. Washington's the tailback. Play action. Green going to throw back in the end zone. Jaden Platt's back there and caught it for a touchdown. The former Aggie reels in his first touchdown reception as a Razorback, and it's a 1-score game again.
What a throw and catch combination from Taylon Green and Jaden Platt Saturday night. Arkansas falls 45-42 in the Texas A&M game, and in a game that featured a lot of crazy up and down plays from both sides. Marcel Reed had that long touchdown run that was called back due to a holding call, but if you were just a casual college football fan that wasn't an Aggie or a Razorback, you were treated to quite a show Saturday.
It was, and that's also what's, I think, led some people. Do you get the feel or the sense that it's almost like you won the game when you're still 2-5?
Oh, we're taking lots of moral victories.
I mean, it just we got to get past that too. I think this week cannot feel like that, no matter how close the game is at the end. This is an Auburn team that's reeling. I mean, I understand A&M's 4th in the country, and they're a good team. You went to the wire with a good team. You really didn't have a chance to win at the end. An onside kick with just a handful of seconds. I mean, I think we're overstating some of how close this game really was.
Can we
Because it
talk-
wasn't as close as people try to paint it.
Bobby Petrino has been characterized correctly as a really good in-game coach and very tactical. And I know he spoke to it. Tom asked him about it after the game. That clock was mismanaged at the tail end of the game.
Well, it depends on how you want to look at it. 'Cause
Should've
I don't
taken
think you were
timeout.
trying to win the game. I don't think you were for 1 minute trying to win the game.
What were they trying to do?
Trying to get a touchdown to make it look close. I never had who was on the TV with Mark Jones? Roddy
Jones.
Roddy Jones. You know, he was saying the same thing you're saying. Mismanaged. I don't think you were trying to win the game.
You think they should?
I think you were trying to get a touchdown, and look how close it was. That's the feel I got based on the decisions that were made. You had to have a field goal and a touchdown.
That's how it was last week too. The game wasn't close until the fourth quarter, and you finally got some late touchdowns.
But you had a chance at the end of that one. You really didn't have a chance at the end of this one.
The boys covered. I won $30 again.
Tired of covering.
Beer money for
I'm ready to win.
Yeah.
You know, and in the end, I mean, we can paint the picture that, man, they had a chance to win the game at the end. Not really. Not really.
JT points out we're 2-5, and I think Tom's the one that asked him. It's like, was that just the goal to score a touchdown there? He's like, yeah, trying to score a touchdown. I get where you're coming from. Because
I think we were just trying to make it look as good as it could look.
What I didn't understand is you had timeouts. I understand wanting to score the touchdown before a field goal. Like, I get that. I'm never a fan of like settling for a field goal and then hoping to get the onside, which. Honestly, I mean, I don't think Starzik, actually, he didn't kick it. Devin Bale, I think, is the one that kicked it. Wasn't even close. I mean, A&M guy caught it, wasn't a bounce or anything. It was an offsides call, so you weren't winning that game.
What's the? I don't know what the advanced analytics. What are the percentages of getting an onside kick? It's not high.
Pretty low.
Yeah, and then in the end, you'd had less than 10 seconds to figure out a Hail Mary. So I mean, it wasn't going to happen. I think Arkansas would again. Do you believe Bobby Petrino is going to be hired or retained as head coach based on wins and losses or how the team is playing? And the perception is, man, they're playing. And I think the reality is they're playing hard. I think they played harder this week against A&M than they did the week prior against Tennessee. They cleaned up some stuff. I mean, clearly headed in the right direction. Didn't win, but, man, it looks really good to only lose by 3 points.
Michael in Pottsville says Tommy's correct. Petrino just wanted the final score to look close, and our defense wasn't going to stop A&M if you scored closely. You stopped them once in the second quarter and once in the fourth quarter, and they scored on every other possession.
There was no. I mean, I never watching that because watching with some friends, and same questions were coming up, and I'm not saying the questions are illegitimate or wrong or your view of the game is wrong. They were asking, why are we not calling timeout? Why are we not, why didn't we kick the field goal and then try to get the onside, then go score? Because I don't think the idea or the intent was to ever do anything other than at least get a touchdown. And then if you could throw one pass, had a timeout, kick the field goal to tie, you'd felt like you really like. I think the goal was to get it as close as you could because exactly what you said. Now, how would you ever, as a head coach or anybody observing, feel like you had any faith in your defense getting a stop if you gave the ball back to A&M with any time on the clock?
Well, you were going to onside regardless if you kicked the field goal.
Right, then you were going to give them midfield.
But they were just going to run out the clock.
You had timeouts. They weren't going to be able to. Now, you're coming from the standpoint that you were going to use them all up at that point, but I think the last thing Bobby Petrino also wanted to do was let A&M score again. He wasn't going to give any opportunity to his defense to get on the field if he could avoid it.
All right, that is your Hog Update here on a Monday morning, brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
RB and Benville, we have to stop with the moral victory talk. This team
We're
has
not talking
changed.
about that. We're not claiming moral victory here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I'm not.
I think you're doing the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, but I think in the end, the idea that you were going to call the timeouts and you were going to kick the field goal early and then you were going to try to get an onside kick, I don't think that was ever the viewpoint or the goal of what was trying to be accomplished there at the end of that game. Hey, did you do the Razorback raffle this weekend?
I did not
sign up.
I think it was 30-something thousand that got given away.
Another Razorback raffle. I think the weather probably kept that thing from being as big as it could be. Razorback raffle's a 50-50 jackpot. It's going to be announced with another winner this weekend during the home game against Auburn during the fourth quarter. You can buy tickets throughout the week leading up to the game and then prior to the game as well. Just go to RazorbackRaffle.com and get your tickets. All the money raised in the 50-50 goes to support Razorback student athletes So get your raffle tickets purchased, have a chance to win big. You could do it right now for this week at RazorbackRaffle.com.
Morning Rush Daily Question. When we come back, a lot of things happening in college football this weekend. Marquee matchups, hirings and fire. Not so much hirings, but firings. We'll continue to get in all of that coming up here on a Hot Take Monday.
Hi, this is Mike Greenberg with ESPN Radio, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. Itswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
You know, give Bobby a chance to go shop for the groceries himself. And now that he's cooking the dinner, I think he'll be a contender.
This is the Morning Rush.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hungry for steak? TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is serving up the best hand-cut 14-ounce ribeyes, tender 8-ounce bacon wrap fillets, and massive loaded baked potatoes. It's the new steakhouse menu at TGI Fridays. And for football nights, Monday and Thursday, it's wings for just 50 cents each, all day long. Boneless or traditional with a 10-piece minimum. Bring the team, bring the fans. Big groups are welcome, and we're open till midnight on Friday and Saturday. TGI Fridays, steaks, wings, football, it's all here at TGI Fridays at 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Why wait till Monday for your dental emergency? At Valley Urgent Dental, we know your pain cannot wait. Broken tooth, painful infections, sports injuries, we've got you covered. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are here when you need them most. Call them at 479-235-5655. Valley Urgent Dental is available on weekends when your regular dentist is closed. Valley Urgent Dental at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Do not wait. Your smile deserves immediate care.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Randy Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great pastor appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
Coach Cal and the Razorbacks will tip off the season inside Bud Walton Arena Friday, October 24th, when they take on the Cincinnati Bearcats at 7 p.m. Tickets are now on sale starting at $25 for the upper bowl and $35 for the lower bowl. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com, secure your seats right now, and get the first look at this season's squad.
To $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, Colton's really going to like this one. Is this the most important football head coaching hire for not just Arkansas, but any other mid-level Power 4 program? Virginia Tech would be in that category. Help me out. Who else?
UCLA.
Florida, I don't know. UCLA? Okay, I'll go with that. I wouldn't put Florida quite in that middle tier. Arkansas's in that middle tier. LSU, if they make a move, won't be in that middle tier. Who else am I missing here? I mean, there's a slew of them at this point. But let me tell you why I think this. And Colton, I know what we talked about a week or so ago, but here's why I'm thinking about this. Anyone else believe there's another big round of realignment or maybe a major overhaul coming for Power 4 conference or Power 4 college football? Anyone believe that there might be a super league at some point in the next 5 years, 7 years, where, hey, we're just going to do away with the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten as we know it, and those schools are going to move into some 48-team league, and it'll be the haves and the have-nots on more display than ever before, and the ones that have a seat at that table are going to be in a very secure. Anyone feel that might be coming other than me?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So getting your act together in the next 5 years might be more important now than it's ever been. If you're Arkansas, if you're Virginia Tech, if you're
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State would be a great one. UCLA is a great one. Get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about teams like Florida. Florida's, if there's a 48-team cut and the Power 4 shrinks to that, essentially, Florida's in regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, UCLA's probably in because of the market they're in. Those are the teams that you better have your you-know-what together, or you could find yourself not in that situation. Now, maybe I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself and out there, but I think you don't want to be looking up in 5 more years and all you've done is tread water for the last 60 months. Because then you put yourself in a position to maybe not be considered for whatever the next thing coming is. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I think we're all smart enough to know something else is coming. It's not tomorrow. It's not next year, but there's going to be another big round of realignment. I think the next big deal is, we're going to merge the Big Ten, the SEC, and a handful of other programs, and you don't want to miss that cut. Doesn't mean that you're not going to be a part of something else in basketball or baseball. You say, well, we're good in all these. Well, I'm not sure that's going to matter.
Ask Kansas. Mm-hmm.
Not sure that's going to matter.
Brennan, that was his question. If that was just a football thing,
I think something that's football only's coming. We've already ripped the Band-Aid off, broken the seal on the idea that these are amateurs. That's done. That conversation's over.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea of student athlete and all these things, these things we're trying to clutch onto, those are going to be gone soon.
Okay.
These are professionals at the college level. And I think we're going to create and where's the vast majority of the money being spent on NIL and money in college sports? Football.
Yeah, football.
So I think a whole new college football league of some sort is coming at some point. I can't tell you whether it's 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 7 years from now. But my point is, I'm coming around to the idea this might be the most important moment in the history of your program if you're where you're at in a program like Arkansas, because if you don't have it together, when those decisions get made down the road, you might be on the outside looking in. Is this the most important hire ever from that standpoint? Do you believe what I'm saying? That's the Morning Rush Daily question. Am I on the right trail here, or am I got a tinfoil hat on sideways?
I think when you think about major occurrences in Arkansas football history in terms of transition and changes, you didn't have the right coach in 92. You could argue that Sam Pittman was not the right guy when Texas and Oklahoma came into the league. 2012, you certainly didn't with John L. Smith. So anytime there's a major change, you haven't had the right guy, or at least you probably haven't had the right guy. So this next change that you're advocating for, which I think Colton and I both agree are coming, it's hard to debate that with all the money and everything else that's changing hands, that change won't supersede you coming to the SEC, the additions of Texas A&M and Missouri, and the additions of Texas and Oklahoma. So,
and if you're LSU, if you're Bama, if you're Texas, you're Florida, you're Texas A&M, you're Oklahoma, you're Georgia, you don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah,
they're not going to have a super league, the college football super league or whatever the hell they'd call it, without you. But they could have one without Arkansas. We don't like to think that way.
Yeah.
But the music could stop, and we may not have a chair to put our butt in.
You know where you are in the football programs. Pecking with that, you're 15 or 16.
If you're Mississippi State, you got to be thinking the same way.
Yeah.
You better get your act together and be as marketable and as competitive as you can be. Because and Lee from Springdale in the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline says 4 super leagues. No, I think it's one super league with maybe 3 to 4 divisions.
He advocated 80 teams split up into 20.
I don't think, because here's the thing. There's going to come a day where the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Texas, the Ohio States, and the Michigans of the world are tired of sharing their money with the other schools that they don't feel contribute as much. And listen, hell, if you're going to ask me to play 9 or 10 league games now, why don't we just put a new league together and we'll play 12 and be done with it and have our own playoff?
Yeah.
I mean, greed's always been there, and greed's going to come back around to formulate whatever's coming.
Okay.
Because I don't think the big boys, the upper crust, they don't want to give hey, why don't we just reduce the size to 36 or 48 teams and we'll all take home a bigger check?
Makes a lot of sense.
And I think that's why you better get your act together right now, or it's going to be a problem 5 years from now.
Well, if they made a decision
I'm sounding the alarm now.
If they made a decision right now at 9:48 on October the 20th, you're not getting an invite.
Yeah. Lee from Springdale asked again, does basketball come into the equation? No. This is going to be a football-only deal. You'll still have the SEC and basketball. They're just going to do a whole new deal at some point that Fox, ESPN, ABC, CBS, NBC, they're all going to get a piece of it. It's going to be just like the NFL. They're going to do business with everybody. That's why the Big Ten, with 18 teams, still sends home more money to their schools than the SEC, because they have TV deals with everybody. That's exactly where we're headed. We're going to max it. We're going to put all the money into one pot with bigger slices of the pie, because there's going to be fewer teams involved.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush, your daily question. How consequential is this upcoming hire for Arkansas relative to what it's been in the past? Number one place for indoor golf is at Cart Pass Social. You can always check them out online at cartpasssocial.com or give Christian Olson, Nate Gearhan a call at 479-487-3622. Is hanging out with Christian this weekend. Big-time Razorback fan, as is Nate. 2 Rogers boys that have built an awesome facility right here in Northwest Arkansas. CartPassSocial.com, number one indoor golf facility, and always BYOB at Cart Pass Social.
So am I on a tangent here and just a conspiracy theory, or do you think my vision?
I'm glad Colton changed your mind.
Or,
well, that's coming down the track, Tommy.
And again, I don't think it's tomorrow. But I do think in 5 years from now that, we're heading that direction.
Mm-hmm. And you again.
And I'd like to think, well, if you're in the SEC now, they're going to include you. I don't know.
Ask Swanee.
I don't know.
Who's the other team back in the day? Swanee and who
Tulane.
else? Tulane. Ask. And Tulane's a pretty good Group of 5 program, and their head coach is going to get a bigger job elsewhere. But
now, if we were Northwestern sitting in the middle of a big Chicago TV market, I might feel a little more secure.
Mm-hmm.
But the old coveted Starkville. So,
do you
I
take?
worry about
let me ask you this now. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State were both part of the Big 12, and they took Texas and Oklahoma rather than Oklahoma State. Could you foresee a world where they would take Ole Miss and not take Mississippi State, even though they're both SEC teams? Does in-state stuff, is that not? And
Ole
we
Miss
saw
is closer to Memphis. Not that Memphis is the most coveted market in the world, but could I see a world with that? Yeah. Particularly if you're winning and you're intriguing and you got a coach that has just a lot of marketing appeal.
It's got his own.
I don't know.
E60
it's just kind of where my mind's at right now. Maybe I'm way off, but I think the world I see coming down the pipe in college football is more, and it won't be under the NCAA. It'll be its own deal.
Mm-hmm.
Big time college football is going to break away from the NCAA, set its own rules. It's going to be NFL light, and the NCAA will be left to run March Madness. That's what they can do.
Let's go to Louisiana. Welcome in William this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. William, what's up, man?
How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good?
Good, William. What's up?
So I want to kind of talk on what y'all are talking about. And first of all, I do think it's the most important hire for us that we probably have ever had. Okay, and I hope that we have the leadership and the visionaries involved up there that can foresee exactly what you're talking about, Tommy. And we make the investment to reap that ROI, right? Because you talked about it. They're not going to want to share the Ohio State, the Michigan, the Florida State. They're not going to want to share that payday, but that payday is going to be phenomenal. Would you not agree? If they do that, what are they going to get in return for doing that? If we don't invest and make a wise business decision with an understanding of that ROI that's coming by being invited to that, we're going to handicap ourselves. Now, there'll still be football plays. There'll still be rivalry there, like y'all talked about it. If Ole Miss gets an invite, State doesn't, they're not going to cripple the game by not playing that rivalry. But one program will reap the benefit of being included in that league, and another one won't.
Well, I think, William, to your point, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State aren't playing anymore, and there's nothing on the schedule anytime soon. I think in this new world of college sports, all bets are off. I mean, I don't know how long-standing the Egg Bowl is relative to Bedlam, but I don't think these long-standing traditions and rivalries that we've come to know for all these years, with changes and realignment that is coming, I think we all agree. I don't know if we can necessarily definitively say that those games are going to be played in the future. Just don't.
Well, A&M and Texas are playing again, are they not? I mean, that took a hiatus too, so I don't think, that one took a break. They eventually circled back around and made the decision for that game to be played too.
They're going to play games that people want to watch on TV. They're going to maximize the TV rating. That's exactly what it's all going to boil down to. Hey, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has 25 locations around the state. They can take care of you with all the financing options to remodel your home or build a brand new one ground up, or maybe you found that, hey, I need to put all new heat and air, and I need to put new insulation in my home, and I need to borrow a little money to do it. They can walk you through all the options that fit your needs with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender.
Hour 2 coming up. More of your calls and texts as we roll on the Morning Rush.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. Itswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Wrath Auto Resources. All this month, take advantage of huge discounts on our road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, wrathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Hey drivers, got a reefer on the fritz or a trailer that needs some TLC? Roll into High Tech Truck Refrigeration Service in Van Buren, your one-stop, full-service, semi-truck and trailer repair facility, proudly serving you for over 30 years. At High Tech Truck, they do it all: DOTs, preventative maintenance, structural repairs, and expert reefer service. Fast, reliable, and driver approved. Call High Tech Truck today at 479-474-2220. Keep your wheels and your freight moving. High Tech Truck, proud sponsors of Arkansas football.
Hardee's invites you to fill your days with a little more handcrafted goodness. Made from scratch biscuits, baked fresh every 15 minutes. Crispy chicken tenders made with hand-breaded care. 100% Angus beef patties, freshly charbroiled, built to order. And warm smiles every day, from sunrise to supper time. Because at Hardee's, there's always goodness in the making. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. Our temperatures this afternoon will be right around the mid-70s with winds anywhere from 25 to 30 miles per hour. Clear skies, overnight lows in the upper 40s to mid-50s, and then sunny skies on Tuesday, upper 60s north, mid-70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
We come here to win. We never expect to lose.
ESPN 95.3.
Taylor Green to throw, steps up. Now he's going to try to run inside the 25, inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Taylor Green took off. Green in the backfield. Washington now shifts to the left hip of his quarterback. They're going to run a shovel pass inside. Rohan Jones, and the two-point conversion successful.
Oh, the crowd was awesome. I know the players were very, very appreciative. All four quarters of the energy that they brought. They want to win games. They want to win football games. We've got to give them a better opportunity as a staff to get that victory.
We played a top 20 defense tonight. Probably one of the best defensive lines we're going to see this year.
Give Bobby a chance to go shop for the groceries himself. And now that he's cooking the dinner.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. And produced by Colton Little. This is The Morning Rush.
So the Arkansas Razorbacks fall once again to an SEC opponent, 45-42 to Texas A&M on Saturday night. Texas A&M, really good defense, top 20 in scoring all season long, and you really got to him. Taylor Green, 5 total touchdowns, nearly 400 total yards by himself, yet it wasn't enough as Arkansas, again, loses 2-5 now on the season. 5 games remain for Bobby Petrino. And Tommy, I don't... with coaching jobs coming open, maybe that I would think that definitely helps his cause to potentially be the head coach. But he's also, I don't know if running out of time's the right phrase to use, but he's still trying to get that head coaching job moving forward.
If his biggest sin is he lost close to 2 top 10 teams, then I think he's still in the running. Now, you got to go beat some unranked teams
like Auburn,
like Mississippi State. I don't think you can go winless and lose close to teams that are more even with you and make your best case for the job. So these next 2 weeks, you don't have to go 2-0, but you got to continue to look like you got max effort. Because would you say there's been a dramatic improvement in that category? I think we all would.
I think at home, roads, same old. But
no. Even against Tennessee on the road, they played with a greater effort than what you'd seen against Notre Dame and even Memphis. So, he's got the team playing hard. They're playing tough. I just think they're undermanned on defense. I think there's only so much. He can't make filet mignon out of bologna. I think that's where he's at defensively.
Matt and Baldwin asked this question. Do you think Bobby Petrino is capable of hiring a good defensive coach moving forward? Because if you're going to...
Yeah. What would make you think he can't moving forward?
Because by the end of his coaching tenure, he had relatives and family on the staff rather than...
At Missouri State, yeah. But what was it? Todd Grantham was his defensive coordinator at Louisville?
He's been fired a lot, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's...
what coach hasn't been fired a lot? That's just part of the business.
I think that's a fair question to ask of Matt. It's not the offense.
Who you're going to hire at Missouri State as a head coach is a whole different list of candidates than who you would be able to hire at Arkansas. And one of the things that we've already seen with the Board of Trustees and meeting with Hunter Yurachek and their messaging floating out of that is they're going to do things to increase the salary pool for coaches. They're going to do. That's how you hire better coaches and better help is you have a bigger salary pool available. So I think some help will be coming in those regards. I have no concern of whether or not he could hire a staff that could compete. No, I'd put that concern aside. Hey, if you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it's delivered by Taco Bell. Try the new Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito that's a part of the Flamin' Hot $9 Lux Box, available now at Taco Bell, where they can satisfy your daytime cravings, all at Taco Bell. Get the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.
I just got this this post sent to me. Razorbacks have scored 30-plus in every SEC game thus far this season. Auburn is the only team in the SEC that hasn't scored 20-plus points in an SEC game.
I haven't scored 20 once.
Yeah, Colton, you were joking about. I think I'm just going to turn off the
They
television.
will this week.
Yeah, I would say this is probably
They will
gonna be
this week.
the first. They fall to Missouri this past weekend. I know we got plenty to react to from the A&M game, but this is again, Arkansas is a 1.5 point favorite, or excuse me, dog in this game against Auburn. This is a game that you really feel like, not that you haven't had a chance in the others, but man, you feel like you can get the first SEC or the win of the season here in Fayetteville.
And I'm sure they feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that you're playing this game at home. You need that edge. You got to, and you're right. You played better this week at home, with a lot of distractions and delays and all those things that that are the underlying story for what happened on Saturday. Got to put what happened behind. You got to have the confidence you can win, and you better not have any belief that, hey, we can play the same as we've been playing, because I think there was improvement between Tennessee and what we saw against A&M. You better improve some more if you're going to have a chance against Auburn. Because even though you're taking what I would feel like is a little bit of a step down based on SEC standings and just the eye test, you're still a home dog. So that tells you what the odds makers think about this matchup and what they think about Auburn's quality on defense versus your quality on offense.
Here's Petrino after the game, just on the team overall.
And the one thing I wanted to make clear in the locker room was that it's a team loss. The offense's job is to outscore them by at least 1 point, and the defense's job is to hold them to one less point, and special teams got to give us some plays.
You and I were talking about this. So you have to say that in the press conference and your team, and I get that. But this loss, there's been times I felt like the defense did enough for you to win. The defense did not do enough for you to win Saturday night. You got 2 stops, one in the first, one in the second, and you had opportunities. A&M goes 3 of 3 on 4th down, including a key conversion where guy got blown up in the backfield by his own guy.
And yet we still are getting calls and texts as to why Bobby didn't kick the field goal and use the timeouts earlier. Well, you just answered the question, because you got zero faith that your defense was ever going to stop or you'd ever even get the ball back if you had done that. So that's why he went for the touchdown at the end. At least if we're going to go down, because your defense wasn't going to do anything to lead you to a victory, at least if you go down by 3 rather than 10. So that's exactly the way the game played out there at the end.
Charlie's
for all those that want to criticize clock management and timeout management.
Charlie's in Mountain Home this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What's up, Charlie?
Not much. Hey guys, most businesses or companies have a performance clause, and if the SEC had one, Arkansas would have been gone a long time ago. The reason they didn't hire or get Texas and Oklahoma sooner, or why he did last year, that's stanky, that is, that the SEC, is because he didn't want the Big Ten to get him. So he went ahead and got him when he did. And the final thing I would just point out to y'all is, think about Ohio State. They won the national championship last year. Could Sam Pittman, your coach, could he have won the national championship with them? And I won't even say more. I'll stop because I know you're all laughing about it. Sam Pittman and the coaches we hire here can manage dealerships. These other schools hire coaches that can manage the Ford company, the Chevrolet dealership, the company that makes the cars. We're hiring low-grade people. And the final thing I would leave you with, Tommy, you're on the right track. You're just sniffing the wrong trail. What we need to look at is a good business manager. They're the one that's going to get you the money to get you the horses to win games. The coaches are secondary. They don't tackle nobody. I'll let you go and let you think about it. Bye.
Okay, Charlie, appreciate the call. I still think two things. You got to have the right coach and you got to have the right quarterback. I mean, this has become more and more like the NFL. And in the NFL, who's more important, the head coach or the quarterback? The quarterback. So, I mean, in the end, I think it's still in college. You better have a quarterback developer. You better, at least on staff, doesn't have to be the head coach, but you better prove you can develop a quarterback, because this game's become more and more about the teams that have the better quarterbacks. They're winning the games right now in college football, particularly the SEC.
Hey, I know a really good quarterback developer. Yeah, Bobby Petrino.
I mean, why was Bobby Petrino so successful here in his first stint? Ryan Mallett and Tyler Wilson, big part of it. Great wide receivers that want to come play with those dudes. So I think he's got a really good quarterback. I think Talon every week makes more and more the case he's a top 3 or 4 quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I mean,
he does it every week.
He finished in this game 19 of 32, 3 touchdowns, and over 100 rushing yards as well. You subtract the sacks, it was 85. But I mean, he gives you a chance to win. Again, they've scored 30-plus in every SEC game this year. There's a lot of SEC teams that would love to say that about their offense, and then he makes plays like this.
Talon Green brings Raylan Sharp in motion. Green gets the snap. He looks to throw off play action, steps up. Now he's going to have to run. Lots of real estate across the 35 to the 40. Green to midfield into Aggie territory, and they'll finally push him out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
So you take the good and the bad with Talon because there are some sacks you feel like he has a chance to throw the ball away and or maybe dump it off to the flat, as he talked about in the post game to Mike Washington or another Braylon Russell or whoever else is in the backfield or in the flat in that situation. But you also don't get the excitement and the game-changing plays, which he had a few of them on Saturday. You're asking him, if you're an Arkansas fan, again, you went up against the top 20 scoring defense in all of college football in Texas A&M, and you scored more in the game Saturday than they previously allowed against the 3 other SEC opponents they played combined. 42, and I don't remember what the exact total is. Your offense is doing almost everything it can to win the game in these SEC games. I know they've had these third quarter woes, and I think they finally scored a touchdown this third quarter on Saturday. But this game is solely on the defense. You can't blame special teams. Starzik went 2 for 2. He didn't have a punt issue. I mean, this game, there hasn't been many games where you say this is the 100% of the defense's fault.
And you were this close, that close right there, to all of it coming apart and unraveled, and the season was about over when Talon Green couldn't get up. Fortunately, they, put Benny Hinn hands on that knee or whatever they did over there under that tent and got him back going. But, boys, can you imagine? Can you just imagine for a minute if that had been like a really serious injury? Holy moly.
Yeah. Well, Petrino got asked about just kind of Talon after the game and the toughness factor.
Yeah, I mean, he's tough as they come. He's as tough as they come. He competed extremely hard and threw the ball, ran the ball, operated the offense, changed protections, did everything he possibly could do to come up to get us the win. So,
you're 2 games in. It is important to note that you play 2 top 15 teams, 1 on the road, 1 at home. Both games you lost by 3. Is there anything that you've taken in with Bobby Petrino in the interim that has changed or swayed your opinion about how you feel about him as the future head coach, or that, hey, appreciate the help, it's time for you to go after this year? I thought the offense would take a jump, which it has. Defense, while it played better against Tennessee, I would say took a step backwards against Texas A&M. Special teams just is kind of a wash.
Can you really hold? I mean, if you're evaluating Bobby Petrino at this point as the interim head coach and whether or not he should move forward, how much should you even look at the defense? You need to recruit those players. You need to design the system. I mean, you've got one hand handcuffed behind his back, right? I mean, would you say the offense has taken a couple steps forward in the last couple of weeks, particularly the running game and the way they're utilizing the tight end a bit more? And
Mike nearly has 300 yards the last 2 games.
Okay, so when I'm looking at Bobby Petrino, I see an offense good enough to win SEC ball games. I see a defense that's not putting you in a position to have a real chance. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how much I can evaluate in an interim situation where he's went outside the walls of the program and got one coach, can't go get any players. He's had to elevate some guys within. I think the fact that, would you say the defense has gotten any worse since Sam Pittman left and T. Will and Deke Adams and Woodson left? Has it gotten worse?
I would say no.
Okay, so I'd put that in my calculus somewhere too, considering you let most of your defensive staff go, you got the same players, and it hadn't gotten any worse. I mean, I don't know how much you can say that, well, Bobby didn't fix the defense. I don't think there is any fixing the defense right now. I don't think you have the players to fix the defense.
Does the real evaluation start now that the ranked games are behind in the last two because you've got a really bad team in Auburn coming in here, 0-4 in the league. Mississippi State also 0-4 in the league. Did these next two games determine if he's the head coach or not here?
If he wins 3 of these last 5, I don't know how you don't give him the job.
And that would include ranked opponents: Texas, Missouri, and
Texas is
and
beatable.
LSU.
Texas
so
is
is
beatable.
LSU. So is LSU. I don't know. I don't think he can beat Missouri, but I think offensively,
Win one of these, at least one of these next 2. I think if you go 0-4 in these next 2, you may have your answer by the time you get through the bye week.
What is your stance currently on Arkansas's chances this week against Auburn? I mean,
I think you win the football game.
I bet on the last 2 games. I bet on them to cover. I bet on them to win this morning. I got up and that was one of the first things I did. I saw the line. And I was like, I think they're going to win this football game come Saturday. All right, let's go to. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I feel good about Arkansas's chances this weekend.
Okay.
So, and if you told me that come kickoff Saturday, Arkansas is a favorite at home, wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think they are going to end up being that by kickoff. Brian's in Ozark this morning. Brian, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
Turn your radio down, Brian.
I just did. Forgot it was up. Hey, I got a question. I'm not really going to talk about football because, there's no way in hell Arkansas wins 4 out of the next 5 to get bowl eligible. Not happening.
I agree with that.
But
we finally agree.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing about it is, since they've had everybody on their team except 5 lowly Razor Arkansas kids decommit, they're going to probably lose 40 to 50 kids off this roster like they do every year. I kind of feel sorry for them for next year. They're going to need a miracle. But that's not what I called about.
I'm glad you threw those comments in. Anyway, what did you call about?
Okay, I want to ask, I look at the $10 million basketball coach that's picked 5th in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
So if Arkansas actually goes into the season ranked 5th in the country, I mean, is he really worth $10 million? I'm looking at his.
If he's 5th in the country?
No, I mean 5th in the SEC.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. If he ends the season, Arkansas's ranked 5th in the SEC. Is he worth the money? I'm looking at, he's been a head coach for 37 years. Yeah, he has 1 national title. And all those years in Kentucky, he put 68 guys in the NBA. He had 1 national title at Kentucky back in, 2012? I think he's overrated, overpaid.
So how do you evaluate where a program's at or how a coach is doing? What's the one and only measurement now for college basketball?
The only thing that matters is wins and losses and get to the Final Four. And
Tournament performance. Tournament performance.
Okay.
So if he's 5th in the SEC but makes the Final Four, is anyone going to be mad? Well, by God, he made the Final Four, but he was 5th in the league. I don't think anyone's going to be too upset.
Well, I don't know. The only thing that matters is a title, and everybody else is a loser, right?
I think Final Four still matter, Brian. Final Four still matter. And if Texas somehow found one, I think you'd be in here calling and crowing about a Final Four. You wouldn't be mad if Texas got to the Final Four and didn't win the national title.
Well, I can tell you this: Texas is never going to put all their money in basketball.
Well, neither has Arkansas. Only one that's done that's Kentucky.
Really?
22 million. Did you see
that? I mean, the only one that's put all their money into basketball is Kentucky.
Well, I don't know. When you spend twice the money on a basketball coach and you do a football coach, that's pretty bad. Football is your revenue for the entire athletic department, and they have given it all.
That's not your rev share money. That's not that. I mean, I mean, John Tyson gave that money for one sole purpose and only one purpose. That was for John Calipari to be the coach. That's not the university's $10 million. That's John Tyson, paving the way for John Calipari to be here. I mean, surely even you can understand that.
Sure. Maybe, I've heard rumors that the trucking company up there is willing to pay Rat Lashley, too, whatever he wants. Maybe that will happen because, Bobby Petrino's not the savior for Arkansas. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens next year.
Who was the savior for Texas Saturday in overtime against Kentucky? Because y'all needed a savior Saturday.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Texas keeps winning. They are 5-2. I'm sure Arkansas wishes they could be 5-2.
I sure do.
The defense.
I'd love to have Texas' schedule.
Yeah.
the defense, and you know what? I say somebody's taking Taylor Green out this year. I thought it was A&M, but, somebody's going to take him out.
Never root for injuries. That's always bad luck, buddy.
NRFI.
Yeah.
Never root for injuries.
Never do that, Brian.
Josh and Waldron. Josh, good morning. Thank you, Josh. That's a common thing not to do in sports is root for the opposing team, whether a rival or not, to get injured.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna be out of town a day or two. I'm still gonna be on the show mostly, but y'all got chicken strips coming in here one day?
Yeah, you're missing out.
Man, what am I
Tyson's
missing here? I
bringing
saw this note you'd sent out that you're going to have like food catered in while I'm gone. I'm a little jealous.
Well, yep, Jam Mart's bringing us in chicken strips on Wednesday. They've got their Customer Appreciation Day at the Phoenix Avenue location in Fort Smith this Thursday from 10 a to 2 p. Now, in addition to what they've got, the specials all day long, they're also going to be doing the discounted gas price this Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're giving away a gas card plus 99-cent sausage biscuits starting today all the way through Friday at the Phoenix Avenue location. Don't miss the Customer Appreciation Day this Thursday at Jam Mart on Phoenix Avenue, again from 10 a to 2 p, plus the 99-cent sausage biscuits all week long at Jam
I could have went by there this morning and got us biscuits.
You could have.
Man. What time do they do those? Like, I'm guessing early till 9 or 10?
Yeah,
like
probably
that?
till 9 or 10. I don't know the exact timing on that. But, yep, 99 cents all week. Take advantage of it. I think
Is that Good Friday?
Is that good?
Through
Friday. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that Friday
Okay.
when I'm back in here.
Well, speaking of, he brought up the basketball team. So, Tommy, I made the mistake. I knew my boots had one hole in them. Turns out both boots had holes in them. So my boots got soaked. I should have wore duck boots this
boots,
weekend.
Your feet got soaked.
Well, my feet got soaked and the boots got soaked. Like the soles are so jacked up. So I got to figure that out.
Why don't you get new ones put on them?
Well, I that's the plan. They're sitting out to do that this week. I got some stuff I've got to do. But I was, as he's talking about this basketball team, I was walking by Bud Walton Arena. They've got their exhibition against Cincinnati this Friday, first really official home game of the season. And I thought to myself, isn't it going to be fun to take in a season where you're going to win some big-time marquee games? And I know they've been close, and I know this team's battled the last two, but it's just going to be nice. And maybe they surprise us, and they're not as good as we think they're going to be. The SEC's loaded, but I'm just thinking to myself, it is going to be nice to transition to basketball season where you feel like you're one of the top dogs in the SEC.
Yeah, I know they had a team inter-squad scrimmage on Saturday, and pretty good workout. I don't know if the rain and the hail, and I don't think that stopped anything, but I know they were having a big practice Saturday before the game, and they're moving forward. But November 3rd is going to be here before you know it when they play Southern.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit earlier start from a calendar standpoint than what we've seen in previous years.
And I'm just reciting this from memory. They go to East Lansing that weekend, correct?
The 8th, yes.
Yeah, so they'll play Southern on Monday night, and then they'll play against Tom Izzo and Michigan State that weekend.
Still got Cincinnati, and you still got the St. Jude's deal over at Memphis. So you still got some exhibition games. But November 3rd, in fact, I was checking the mail that had been brought in. I got my parking pass today for the season tickets. So, I mean, I know people are starting to kind of think about those things. And, November 3rd, I think you'll have a good crowd there that night.
Hoping so.
It's a Monday night.
Yeah,
so
hoping that's the case. All right, we still got more to get to. SEC update. You have a change with the Florida Gators. Billy Napier out. What does that mean for the rest of the conference in terms of the coaching carousel? We'll get into that and some game action from this weekend coming up on a Hot Take Monday.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
For the second week in a row, our guys competed hard, but that's not what we're out there to try to do. We're out there to try to win.
This is the Morning Rush.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, at only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
TGI Fridays in Fort Smith, where football fans win with 50-cent wings all day, every Monday and Thursday. Just 50-cent wings, boneless or traditional, with a 10-piece minimum. It's perfect for Monday night and Thursday night football. Also, don't forget TGI Fridays' brand new steakhouse menu. Hand-cut 14-ounce ribeyes, juicy 8-ounce bacon-wrapped fillets, and loaded baked potatoes. Big groups are always welcome after the game, and we're open till midnight on Friday and Saturday. TGI Fridays. Come hungry, leave happy. TGI Fridays at 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great pastor appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
At some point, do you feel like a change is needed? Whether it's
I made a change last week, Jack.
I'm talking about the play calling.
Every week, we're continuing to look at how to be better, and every week I do that. And every week, I will continue to do that and continue to evaluate that.
What gives you hope that the play
next question?
Okay.
What gives me hope? I see the way we practice during the week. What gives me hope? I see the number of guys that we had out today that I wasn't even sure was going to be able to play, that fought their asses off to get back out there and get healthy and be able to play today. What gives me hope? I know the talent we have on our offense. And what I just told our team, we're not playing up to our potential right now. I am not getting the most out of this team right now, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
No one likes to lose, but there's not a bigger loser in college football, sore loser, than Shane Beamer. The South Carolina Gamecocks fall again this weekend. One of kind of the media darlings, the dark horses of the SEC, and they are not but that. And their offense is dreadful. Sellers was thought to be one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC. I bet they missed Al Loggins right now there in Columbia.
Yeah, I that's a great point. And I know he was asked some questions and had to give some answers about the Virginia Tech job as his name continues to surface around that. And of course, the Titus father, that's his alma mater, is where he played. That those questions make sense. He described South Carolina as his dream job, but you think with the way the season's kind of unfolded that, a little more nightmarish than, but it costs money to jump ship. I don't know that they really want to make a change, and South Carolina's in a position that similar to Arkansas. They need to get this thing right moving forward because they're in a very similar kind of state of affairs, if you will, as the Razorback program moving forward and down the road.
They have to deal with Clemson inside their own state, which I know Clemson lost this weekend to Rhett Lashley and SMU. There's just so many. It's as standstill as the SEC and really for the most part college football was last year with not many people getting fired. That's completely changed this year. We're not done with firings in the SEC. I think if Hugh Freeze loses to Arkansas this weekend, he's on the chopping block next. I know that there are some outrageous buyouts for the likes of Shane Beamer, Mike Norvell, Brian Kelly, and others, but I don't think anything's off the table with the way college football is trending and just where everything's at right now.
Well, and it's really a tough marketplace for schools just because of all the openings and figuring out where this is going to slide. This could be a wild time from that Sunday following Thanksgiving, I think, until the championship games and then even the week beyond, because there'll be coaches that'll be in championship games that I think may make a move somewhere else. So it's going to be about a 10-day period I think is really intriguing. And you've got to start making some moves because that portal period, was it January 2nd it opens now?
I believe that's correct.
Plus you got your high school signings. And, I mean, December is a huge month, even if you're not playing football.
Yeah.
So I think, this isn't going to be something that drags out very long into December by any stretch.
Plus, you've got athletic directors like the one in Indiana that are trying to get out in front of their coach being pursued and hired. Keith Carter told Ole Miss on 3 that he's working on a new contract for Lane Kiffin, hopefully to try and get something done like at Indiana before the season ends. Lane Kiffin is going to be one of the more heavily pursued coaches in the offseason. I saw a report that Scott Strickland, the AD at Florida, is evidently trying to do his due diligence on him even before the season began. You think about Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. I read the AD's name. The AD there's got a weird name, but I would guess something similar might be happening for Drink and Company, who got a big win on the road at Auburn. Those guys, I mean, if I'm the Missouri AD and I'm the Ole Miss AD and Keith Carter, I'm doing everything I can to keep those guys locked down.
Yeah, I mean, you're not even in what should be a negotiation window of your contract, but you're 100% right. Let's go ahead and get the long term, which really means what? I mean, it probably locks your coach up for the next 2 or 3 years, but we give these long extensions. If I'm a coach sitting in a spot like that, well, why not take advantage of the situation, get your buyout structure the way you want it? You get the salary terms the way you want. We're not far from seeing a coach making north of $15 million in college football for a season of coaching. Really not.
Continue on your SEC update. Sounds like Tony Vitello is leaving Knoxville to go coach the San Francisco Giants, according to The Athletic and other reports. That is, I know his name was being mentioned for some other jobs here in the last few weeks, but it sounds like this deal is it's on its way to getting done potentially.
Well, this has been out there about 10 days or so. So, leaving now, I mean, I know it's October 20th today, but you start thinking about the hiring window, and you don't see, how often do you see this in SEC baseball or college baseball where a coach leaves at this point in the calendar year? I mean, this is similar to like when Arkansas had to find a coach in 2012 in April. This isn't really the right cycle or the time for that. It's not as critical as then, but it's very off calendar for Tennessee to have to make a hire at this point.
Yeah, I don't know how coveted that baseball job is. I know from a roster composition, he's probably got a lot of talent there, always has since he arrived in Knoxville, but just that job overall, what the level of investment looks like there in Tennessee. All right, so as far as this weekend's competition goes, Ole Miss came up short against Georgia 43-35. Bama won the cigar game. LSU, maybe the biggest loss of the weekend, albeit against a really good opponent in Vanderbilt, 31-24. Diego Pavia got things rolling again.
The first down for Vandy. Pressure off the edge. He steps up, and now he's going to run for the end zone and score. Diego Pavia.
That's the team. I don't generally root for the SEC, but I'm rooting for Vanderbilt every single Saturday. They're not on Arkansas' schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Clark Lee is at his alma mater, done just an unbelievable job. I'm not a big, again, root for the SEC guy, but that does not apply when Vanderbilt plays whoever in college football.
No, I mean, Ole Miss doing well. Programs like Vanderbilt doing well give you hope that right coach, right quarterback, right funding, all that, you can turn it around here. If Vandy can do it, we can do it.
Missouri defeats Auburn in double overtime. There was Drink thought he won the game early, and the kicker ended up missing it. They still won despite that. Texas survives in Lexington 16-13, and then Florida wins, but Billy Napier gets fired, which is wild.
They shouldn't have won the game, first of all.
You're right. Yep.
Was a defensive – I'm trying to remember the highlight. Defensive lineman intercepted the pass. I mean, if it wasn't for a fluke play from Florida, they'd have lost that football game.
Vanderbilt, college game day this weekend. Eli Drinkwitz in Missouri coming to town. Vanderbilt favored once again in a ranked matchup. Back-to-back after not being favored since 77 in these ranked SEC games. So pretty wild.
All right, that's your SEC update brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. The perfect hot tub is waiting for you at Burton's right now during the warehouse clearance sale. Whether you're seeking relaxation or quality time with family, Burton Pools and Spas has got you covered with Hot Spring Spas. That's the world's best-selling hot tub brand. Over 100 hot tubs are in stock. They can deliver this week to you. Hot tubs starting at $39.99 and payments as low as $53 a month. So visit Burton Pools and Spas during the warehouse clearance sale. Hot tubs on sale now. Burton Pools and Spas, water for a better life. Fort Smith, Springdale, Hot Springs, and in Greenland, and online at burtonpools.com.
RB brings up that Eli Drinkwitz had signed an extension this summer. So I guess that's one thing Missouri doesn't have to worry about. But it is these numbers that continue.
I think they're still worried.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think that extension doesn't change anything?
Well, no, I mean, there's still clauses to buy out of a contract.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still ways for coaches to get out if it's a situation they want to go to. So, I mean, I think there's still plenty for them to worry about if they're worried about keeping their coach.
Robert is in Fort Smith this morning. Go ahead, Robert. You're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, guys, two things real quick, then I'll listen to y'all. But Tony Vitello, if he comes over the Giants, he's going to get spanked just like everybody else by my Dodgers. He ain't going to do nothing. And I think because of the high, he's a very spectacular, wants to be all that, being the Giants land where he can look like he's all that, but he ain't going to do nothing. And then my other thing is I've been listening to Barstool Radio and Mad Dog Radio. They're saying that Arkansas has the money, which we know we do. But how would you approach Walmart and J.B. Hunt? Because they were saying that we've got to get rid of our athletic director because they would have already opened the wallet. How do you get them to open up the wallets with the right person? How do we get to that right person that they'll open their wallets to?
On bended knee. That's how you do it. On bended knee.
Okay. I'm just saying that's what they were talking about.
Now, I think Hunter Yurchek's done a better job than most of his critics, including R2 in the afternoon, give him credit for. But if a change at AD is what it takes to finally get your way in to the Walmart fortress, then I'm sorry, but you make that change because you have not been able to tap into that from an athletic department standpoint. If that's the only thing holding them up, sorry, Hunter, but you got to go. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know where Barstool's getting their information. The Hunt family has given money to the basketball program when Eric Musselman was here. So I don't know that I'd buy all into that, but if that's the only thing keeping the Waltons from letting you into their wallet a little bit, then, hey, Let's get started.
I don't have the family tree in front of me or where they went to school, but like how many of them actually went to Arkansas? I know.
Does that matter? Does it matter that they went to Arkansas?
You're going to invest the level of income that you're advocating.
I didn't go to Arkansas, and if I had a fraction of their wealth,
let me reframe.
I would be all in.
Let me reframe. Are they like fans? And I know the idea is to, well, if the state's football program has an incredible level of success that helps all elements of the state.
That's exactly right.
But their business is structured as a nationwide.
But where do they need people to come in to help them run their company?
Northwest. But
hang on. Hang on.
All right.
Is having a football team that is relevant and competitive an amenity? Just like the bike trails they advocate for, just like Beaver Lake, just like Crystal Bridges that they have funded, just like many other things. Is the university itself an amenity?
Mm-hmm.
Would a winning football program be a positive amenity if you're in the corporate environment in Northwest Arkansas to attract top talent that you're trying to get from Silicon Valley, from New York City, and any part in between in this country? Because they're not looking for guys like me and you to come up there and be the director of a division, the vice president of some major They need the smartest, brightest people that have the experience in logistics or in IT or in certain aspects of retail marketing, or they're trying to compete with Amazon on an hour-to-hour basis.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the right people in here. Why do you think they've invested in all of these other things to make Northwest Arkansas a better place? Is it because of the goodness of their heart that they wanted to build Crystal Bridges or the what's the kids museum next door, the Amazium, or the AMP, or all these other things?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the wall. Someone said, "Well, Walmart's not putting it in Walmart. It's the Walton family you're trying to get in with." The Walton family still owns like 45% of the Walmart stock.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they say goes. But a high quality college athletic department is an amenity for our state, but particularly Northwest Arkansas, when you're thinking about shaping your company and the quality of talent you want to hire and bring in. Having that's an amenity.
You want to lead the pitch next time to the board of trustees? And
I don't need to. There's people smarter than me, but I'm not the brightest guy in the room anytime. But I can see that. Why do you think they built bike trails? Because it's an amenity that a lot of people enjoy. It's not for me. I don't care how many miles of paved bike trails. Probably not going. That's not an amenity I enjoy. Everybody's got something different. Great golf courses are an amenity. Quality country clubs, an amenity that you've got to have to hire the kind of talent they're looking to hire.
Is it a tax write-off too? That's what Jonathan Mendel says.
Is what a tax write-off?
Donating to the University of Arkansas.
To a degree.
Is it? Okay.
I got a plan on what they could do, but, and never probably feel it, Just endow a trust that benefits the athletic department.
Through Warren Stevens, right? Isn't that what you said?
I just put, you put it there. I was the Walton family, put about 8 million shares of your Walmart stock. They own billions.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never notice 8 million shares. It kicks off a little over $2 a share a year. 16, 17 million a year in dividends off your Walmart. It's a rounding error. Now listen, it's easy for me to sit here and spend someone else's money. Don't give them the stock. Just let them have the benefit. Let them be the benefactor of the dividend.
Speaking of the Waltons, Colton? Is it Rob that owns the Broncos?
Yes, Rob.
Okay.
Walton.
How about? Did you see that ending of the game yesterday?
I did not.
Okay.
Will Watts, 39-yard field goal for the win. There's one.
So Denver's down. Help me on this, Cole. Is it 28-6, 26-6? It was like
they were down by almost 90. I think it was 19 points they were down.
It was one of the largest fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history. And Bo Nix, who had a dreadful game prior to that point. You got two SEC quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Jackson Dart. And they just came roaring back and ended up winning that game. New York's kicker missed an extra point. They're still up 2, and then Denver comes down and ends up scoring at the tail end of that game, much to the liking of our buddy Ryan in Hot Springs. And crazy finish. Dallas Cowboys got back on track with C.D. Lamb in town. Your Dolphins got pummeled, Colton, unfortunately, by Quinshad Judkins.
By the Browns. That's where we're at.
I know you were
right
talking
now.
about the entertaining Southeastern Conference and really college football overall, but there were some wild finishes in the NFL yesterday.
Yeah.
You got a doubleheader tonight. Seattle's play Houston, and I forget the other matchup, but that's what's in stock later on, or what's in store for later on tonight.
All right, that's your SEC update this morning, and got more to come. I want to talk about the White River for a minute and Gaston's White River Resort. I know you've probably seen some of the news that there's going to be a 120-day emergency change in the regulations to the White River and to trout fishing. Catch and release only. There is some serious problems with the hatcheries due to the spring floods and some different things that have occurred. But don't confuse the idea that, hey, you can't fish and that you can't go to Gaston's, and you know a lot of people go and enjoy trout fishing and never put one in the live well. It's still a lot of fun. Ty, you and I went and fished at Gaston's, had a blast just catching fish. There's so much fun to catch. And for right now, from the tailwaters of the Bull Shoals, and I think it's 45 miles of river down to the confluence of the Norfolk and the White, it's catch and release only temporarily. This isn't a permanent change. So if you're thinking about going to Gaston's, or maybe that excites you more, if you just like to fish and maybe a little less pressure out there, hey, Gaston's is the place to go. 870-431-5202. If you got questions about this, or maybe you've got a trip plan and you're wondering, how does this change things? They're still open at Gaston's. They're still doing fishing trips. And I promise you, the fun you'll have, the memories you'll make, they'll be just as good whether you put that fish in the live well or not. I promise you. And the big ones you're after, you're not going to put them in the live well anyway. So just go and enjoy, have a great trip. And I'm going to tell you, it's really, I think, a great time, because there's going to be some people that don't buy into this that won't be going, and you'll have their spot where that Trophy Brown or Trophy Rainbow are at right now. 870-431-5202. They can answer all your questions on this subject. But if you've seen something online, I don't want you to be misinformed. Gaston's is there. Fishing's still available. You'll have a great time. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Green has time, rolling to his left, makes a man miss, still looking into the back of the end zone. The pass is caught. Touchdown, Arkansas.
This is the Morning Rush.
Freshen up your golf game at the Golf Nut. We've got the latest apparel and head covers from Pins and Aces, plus new shirts and shorts from Red Vanley. Ghost golf bags are here in Sunday bag, carry, and card 14 styles. Zero torque putters are the hottest thing on the greens. Check out our models from TaylorMade, Lab Golf, and Odyssey. For precision on every shot, we've got rangefinders from Blue Tees and Bushnell. Visit the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
The Mega Millions jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $500 million. So, what would you do if you won?
The first thing I'd do if I became a millionaire is, call my mom.
I would buy my mother a Maserati.
I definitely would buy a jet.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Mega Millions jackpot of more than $500 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual.
Now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford, as well as heavy-duty diesel repair and diagnostics.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
This is Zachary Hall, the Arkansas Storm Tracker. The GM Mart team is excited to announce their Customer Appreciation Day on Thursday, October 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be specials all day long, including a big 99-cent menu with Crispitos, corn dogs, chicken tenders, and more. Be sure to wait to fill up your gas tanks that week. The discounted prices will be worth it. Plus, they're drawing for a gas card. You can sign up for your chance to win all week in store. 99-cent sausage biscuits will be available at the GM Mart Phoenix Avenue location Monday through Friday. Don't miss out on Customer Appreciation Day at GM Mart on Phoenix Avenue, Thursday, October 23rd.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Where you live every.
The worldwide leader in sports.
It was her first ball game with my wife, and we ended up on that field. We were in section 104.
Brother, you just turned the light bulb on. You got to go with somebody. At least I go with a winner.
Tommy, they're great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Yeah, we're trying to rotate them in as much as possible and try to keep them healthy and fresh, but they are playing a number of snaps. We're the depth on that in that position is not where you'd like it to be.
No, it's not. That was Bobby Petrino talking about the defensive line, especially on the interior. Texas A&M goes over 200 rushing yards. You don't get a hurry. You don't get a sack on Marcel Reed, and just not getting really not just inside or outside pressure on SEC quarterbacks, Tommy.
Well, and we know how he is about hitting the quarterback on the other side and keeping Arkansas clean. We've heard Clay talk about that many times, and they've got to do a better job in both regards. Hey, when it's hay season, there's no time to waste and no time for equipment that can't keep up. That's why you need gear that works as hard as you do. That's why we always go to WT Equipment and Vermeer Forage Tools. From mowers to balers, Vermeer equipment is built tough to perform in the field, and it's backed by the support you can count on at WT Equipment. They'll help you find the right tools for the job and keep them running strong all season long. 7 locations to take care of you: Berryville, Springdale, Searcy, McGehee, Jonesboro, Pocahontas, and Rayville, Louisiana. There's always a WT Equipment nearby. So get ready to get the job done. Stop by your local WT Equipment today, or find them online at WTEquip.com.
All right, so Bud Light Morning Rush podcast will be out. Plenty of calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline today, and that we take in just following Arkansas's 45-42 loss. And you think about more games that you've lost this season, with the exception of Notre Dame, 13 points stands between Memphis, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas A&M. That's it.
That's
13
hard.
points.
Tough. It's hard because you feel like there's There's a case or two that you beat yourself along the way.
Mm-hmm. You didn't.
But really, in the end, you haven't been close in a couple of these games. That Saturday wasn't as close as the final score indicated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had a chance. You had multiple chances to get them off the field. Texas A&M goes 3 of 3 on fourth down, including a big conversion that Owens got in that game where he runs into his own guy and still completes it. But
play better this Saturday and you win.
Absolutely. Halftime coming up next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C on the way from 11 to 2. Have a great day.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Man family, Raleigh.